We are good. How are you?
I'm doing great today. I am loving, look, I even wore my favorite pumpkin spice killer. I can't wait to keep continuing with this Fallapalooza that is happening. I love it so much.
That makes one of us.
Yeah.
I was telling my husband today, I'm like, so I'm feeling kind of blasé today. I can't tell if it's A, I'm tired, B, it's just kind of cold outside and it feels like fall, or C, it's the COVID. It's one of the three.
Oh,
Now that we're further along in the day, I've decided that it's the blasés from the fall. It's too cold. I want it to be 90 degrees again.
well, I did hear that this weekend it's supposed to warm up again, but
I know.
I
So excited.
I really like this crisp. I could maybe throw on a pair of booties with some leggings and maybe like a cape. I really like this weather. I'm okay with it.
Do you ever really wear a cape?
I don't, but I feel like I would look good in one.
Speaking of beautiful capes, did you see the ACMs last night?
I missed them, and I can't believe I missed them because I watch it every year. But I got sucked into a Pitbulls and Parolees marathon. I mean, I don't know, man. Have you ever watched that show?
No,
Tia
I
Torres
haven't.
and her family down in New Orleans, Villa Lobos. I follow them on Facebook, and they rescue so many pit bulls in the city of second chances. Anyway,
I have never even heard of the show,
it's
to be
really great.
honest. Oh, it sounds wonderful. The fact that you, of all people, missed the ACMs, though, like, that blows me away.
It actually sort of crushed me when I realized that people were posting today about it, and I was like, wait a minute. It
Yeah.
was yesterday?
The reason I brought it up is because Mickey Geiger performed toward the end of the show, and she had on this amazing white dress with a long white cape behind her. So it was like a mix of a train and a cape, but it was so beautiful, and her song was absolutely amazing. The way that they produced the ACMs last night was awesome. They did it from mainly like two different locations. There was nobody in the audience. But one of the things I love that they did is where every seat would have been in the Grand Ole Opry, they had a light in that seat. So they were able to create different like lighting elements using the seats, and during certain songs they all lit up in white so that it looked like the crowd had their cell phones up in the air. It was just a really great idea. The other thing I loved, it was all about the performances last night. They kept each acceptance speech to 30 seconds on the dot. If you went over, they just cut to a commercial break. So I think this COVID thing, one of the good things that is going to come about is I think our shows, oh my God, I can't talk. I think our award shows are going to be completely revamped. They're going to look different going forward because they realize people want the production. They don't want all the talking. Just shut up and sing.
I think part of, so my thought is thinking in the minds of the performers. And I think I am someone who feeds off of other people's energy. So I know even if the three of us were together right now, the energy in the room would be different than what it is when we're looking at each other through a screen. And so as a performer, I mean, granted, they all seemed to basically have their band or a band with them. So at least you're still getting that kind of energy. But to not have a crowd's energy while you're performing, you've got to really be confident and also just like hyping yourself up somehow. I mean, that's got to be difficult to perform in front of lights or not. It's not people clapping or singing along or giving you that like crowd energy that I think I would miss if I was a performer.
I think the band that did it best was Florida Georgia Line. They pretended as though that audience was completely jam-packed. Like they were running around the stage, pointing out into the crowd, because they knew that people at home were watching this as if there were people in the crowd. And they did a really great job of engaging the crowd at home because they made it appear as though they were engaging a crowd live in front of them.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I did have to Google because I heard about Carrie Underwood's sort of tribute to women in country. So she did a little medley of Dolly, Barbara Mandrell, Reba, and Martina McBride's With a Broken Wing. Oh, one of my favorite songs. I know you love it too, Steve. I know it.
do.
Anyway, that was amazing to watch. Girl's got pipes for days. She's so good.
Fun fact,
Tell me.
I used to perform in drag to Broken Wing.
Oh, get out.
Way, for real. It was like the only song I ever did. I would do like one drag show a year for like, I don't know, 4 or 5 years. I believe it was actually you who helped me make the dress. Do you remember that?
I did,
Yeah.
yes.
It was like 3 a.m. and we were trying to put the dang thing together because I was performing
remember.
later that night. Yeah.
I remember.
Gosh, how young and innocent we were.
Ugh, man alive.
Speaking of innocent, can we just talk about Jennifer Garner?
Here is my thought on this woman.
Do tell.
Number one, I previously thought she was sort of annoying.
No.
And then she came out with this show on HBO called Camping, Camp Stars. It was just Camp.
Something.
She was actually a like super neurotic, love to hate like character. And she like produced it. It was her deal, right? But then it got me following her on social media. So I started following her on Instagram and Facebook. And let me tell you, she is the most wholesome, relatable, funny. I've seen episodes of her going to the vet with her chickens. I've seen her cutting down sunflowers and trying to bake them to eat. I've seen her cooking things that are, she's so enjoyable to watch. And she just seems like if I popped in, we'd just like hang out. She just seems so normal. I really like her. If you're not following her, people should be.
She does. She comes across as just your everyday old friend. Like if you followed her on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and you didn't know she was a mega celebrity, you would just think that she's a super fun person that you'd like to be BFFs with.
100%.
And that's what I love about her. She doesn't come across as arrogant, pompous. We're going to talk about this person in a little bit, but Drew Barrymore, to me, her innocence is feigned. It's fake. Where I think it's very real for Jennifer Garner. There's nothing fake or pretentious about her. She just is who she is, and she owns it.
Well, let's circle back to your not so sly jab about Drew Barrymore. Chrissy Teigen recently posted, and I don't know her exact words, but she put it on the Twitter that she
I would like to call it Drew Barrymore show will be massive.
Blow up. That's totally what she said. It will be massive. It's going to be. She is super adorable. She's coming across very genuine. I bet her and Jennifer Garner are probably friends.
They probably are. I do believe that. Although I do believe that Drew Barrymore is being ramped up right now just in time for Ellen to be wound down. But a lot of people thought that about the Kelly Clarkson show, that the Kelly Clarkson show was coming about when it did to replace the Ellen DeGeneres show. But they have two totally different demographics.
They're two totally different vibes. Very much so.
Yeah, so I think the handoff is going to get to Drew.
Going through her divorce right now. Oh.
What is up with that? Like, it came out of nowhere. And she's married to Reba's son.
Yeah, Blackstock something or other.
And I know she and Reba were really close. Do you think they still are?
Yes. I also think she is one of those very genuine people too. And so it appears to me that there is no scandal involved in this. You know, it seems very adult and mature and hard and tough, but it is not coming across that it will be cold or cutting somebody off kind of a feeling. I mean,
does anybody know why they got divorced? Like, to me, that was just out of the blue. Kelly Clarkson just came out and was like, hey, I'm getting divorced, everybody. I was like, okay, I did not see that one coming.
Well, I mean, I think part of it is that they talked about differences in what they both wanted. You know, she started the show. She's also doing The Voice. And she also is still like super into her career. She's kind of loving all those things, right? And I think if you listen to her talk about it, it's that he had a different vision for what was going to happen in this stage of their lives. And whether that means he thought things would wind down and they would put more focus on family or whatever. But, you know, then she stated that because of COVID, they went to their ranch in Montana.
Yeah.
And even she believed that that would be like a really big joining moment for their family. They would all be together. And what it ended up doing is just making it so much clearer to them how different they really are in these stages of their lives. And
that
so they
actually makes me
acknowledged it.
want to cry because
Yeah.
I have really felt, and I think the two of you have also, that COVID has brought us closer to our spouses and closer to our families and closer even to just the three of us. We're connecting more. So the idea that somebody during this time went to connect with their spouse and found out, oops, wrong person. Oh my God, that is heartbreaking.
Yeah.
I would die right now.
Yeah.
Richard, don't you divorce me right now.
So I have something to tell both of you. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
Oh
my God.
Wow. Bert. Now is not the time.
Does this have anything to do with Amy's mood? I just coughed there, so we can edit that
out. Well, I have something to share, and I'm going to post a video about it coming up. But two things that Bert has inspired me to do lately. Number one, Bert posted this awesome video on his Cooking with Bert show, and if you have not, you should totally check it out. It's awesome. But
our producer Bert will link to Cooking with Bert in our show page.
Cooking with Bert on our show page after the show.
Click below.
He was oiling. Let's not get kinky. He was oiling his wooden tools, his stirring. What am I?
Freaky.
Spoons. His spoons. This is sounding really awful. His wooden spoons and wooden cooking utensils and his cutting board. And I was watching this thinking, is that a normal thing? Do people have to do that? Apparently they do. And I just throw them away and buy new ones.
Too.
Okay, all right. So I think this is a thing because I realized in the comment section, other people too were like, what are you doing, Bert? So I am going to, one, purchase new wooden cooking utensils and get rid of the ones I have. And two, I'm going to purchase some food-grade mineral oil. I'm going to wax those babies down. Second thing that Bert has inspired me to do is that, a while back I showed a video of my not so organized spice cabinet. And although I haven't come up with a solution for the spice cabinet, I did order clear organizing containers for my pantry, which is just a cabinet that has some flour and sugar and some other shit shoved in there. But I am going to organize the crap out of that, Bert, and I'm going to show pictures or a video, and it'll be inspirational. Steve, how about you? What are you doing right now?
Good talk. Good talk. Just kidding.
Come on now.
I'm actually an organizational junkie, so when I did my video and you could see how horrible all of my cabinets were, I was a little bit embarrassed, but on the same token, I was like, you know what? People always think I'm kind of a neat freak, like anal retentive, OCD, everything in alphabetical order. But they got to see what it's really like behind the kitchen cabinets and closets. So we've been doing a little bit of organizing as well. But I don't think I'll go to the extent of oiling my wooden things. If I do, it would be because there's this beautiful set of like wood spoons and spatulas and stirring utensils and even like an ice cream thing. It's actually made of bamboo. Mm-hmm. And I know. I found it at a local gift shop here, and it's what I've been giving everybody as a present.
I haven't gotten mine yet. Is it?
Oh no,
is it coming?
Christmas is coming. Christmas is coming. So you both know what you're gonna get.
Okay.
But the set is so cool, you guys.
I totally believe you.
You can get like and it comes in different color patterns, so you can get like a dark rainbow pattern, you can get like a dark blue and like a seafoam blue and a white pattern, and it's kind of spiraled throughout the shape of the wood, so it uses the grain of the wood for the color, and it's really, really, really cool.
Weren't you a Pier 1 shopper at one time?
I am still blown away that they closed it.
And Kirkland's, have they gone under? Are they even a thing anymore?
I don't know. I was never a Kirkland's person. I was a Pier 1, Patina.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I love Patina.
They're
Have you
still
ever
a
been?
thing. Yes,
They
I
I love At Home because it's like Pier 1 mixed with a Home Depot.
It's true. And all of the things you would find in At Home are knockoff products of what you would get at Pier 1 Imports.
Mm-hmm.
I feel overwhelmed sometimes when I shop there. Like, I'm so happy that there are 400 different patterns and colors of accent pillows for my couch.
Rugs.
But I felt like if I had 17 options, I could make choices better. I feel like when I go there, I'm so overwhelmed by how many options, I end up leaving with none because I get too worried about how many are coming at me.
Together.
Yeah, we'll take you.
Okay,
The challenge I've had there is I can't find pillow sets or like trios or quadruplets of the same pillow. Like I'll find one that I really, really love and I go to find like the matching pillow. It's nowhere to be found. I mean, it truly is like an odds and ends of pillows and rugs. And so don't ever go there thinking you're going to find like 4 of the exact same thing. Yeah, Nicole's giving us fishy lips. But it's still a really fun store. We go overboard every time we go in.
I can see how you can do it. I can see it.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of people that you should follow on the internet, and this kind of ties in with a few of our other things, but I have been following a new account on Instagram called Go Clean Go. And this woman talks about ways to clean products in your home that you maybe didn't think about. So I found this because I was trying to clean my glass cooktop stove because I had let my pasta boil over, right? And people are like, try this, try that, try this. And someone suggested that I go follow her, and I did. And I found a great solution. But since then, I have been watching this woman talk about how she mops her hardwood floors with just hot water and powdered Tide, a scoop of powdered Tide laundry detergent, and then puts her mop in there and mops her floors, and how they keep the shine. They're not slippery. They're not sticky. And that smell is like super fresh aroma in her house. But she has so many great tips and different things. And I'm not a cleaner. I'm really not a cleaner at all. Like, it's not my passion. But if I can find a shortcut or a quick way to get something clean, I'm all in on that. So,
do you want to know a good trick for glass top stoves?
What?
Use a magic eraser. It will get anything off the glass top stove. And then when you're done, just take your Windex, go over it, and wipe it clean with a paper towel. Shines like new.
Oh, I ended up buying this product called Barkeeper's Friend because someone recommended that. But I feel like I'll use it all over. So I'm okay that I bought it because my sink could use a little polishing too. So
yeah, the magic eraser works wonderful on the glass. Like it gets any crud off of there that you could imagine burning on. And it's quick too. You don't have to like leave it sit for 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And then wipe down, then use a glass cleaner on top of it. You just scrub it a little bit, boom, gone.
I love it. I love it.
Me too. That was not on our show page to discuss tonight.
I am sorry. I just jammed that in quickly.
I really like it. Okay, so we could go down one of two paths now. We could talk about Broadway's return, or we could talk about commonly misspoken phrases.
Well, I think we should talk about Bert.
I was going to say, let's just do both.
Okay, let's do both.
Okay. Oh, your link doesn't open.
Oh. That's awkward.
This is weird.
Hold on. Talk amongst yourselves. I'll send it to
I
you.
was just shopping for Magic Eraser.
I'll just
Hold
wait.
on.
Let's not talk and make it awkward for the viewers. All right,
Okay.
let's play a game. More fun
I'm
game.
Okay.
ready.
I am going to propose things to you, and you're going to tell me how
Okay.
you say it, or if you even say it slightly different.
Okay, I'm ready.
So, for example, is it to be specific or to be Pacific?
Specific.
To be specific.
Okay, that's what most people say.
Oh, good.
What do you say? Nipped in the butt or nipped in the bud?
Bud.
Nipped in the bud.
I used to say nipped in the butt until one of my old bosses was like, "That's not correct. It's nipped in the bud, like a rose." I was like, "Oh,
yes.
sorry,
yes.
sorry, got it." Okay, for all intents and purposes, or all intents and purposes.
All intents and purposes.
Funny enough, I actually have said this wrong until very recently because I thought it was for intensive purposes. I've learned now that that's not correct, but shamefully, I only learned that several months ago.
Oh, that's okay. We still love you. We still love you.
Thanks.
Is it tongue in cheek or tongue in cheek?
What's the first option?
Tongue in cheek or tongue in cheek?
Tongue
Tongue
in cheek.
in cheek.
I thought it was tongue in cheek. I never said the D in and because I never knew if it was tongue in cheek or tongue in cheek. So I said tongue in cheek. So no one could know if I was saying it right or wrong. Yep. Is it buck naked or butt naked? And I have heard people say this completely different.
Mm-hmm.
Butt naked. He was just butt naked. Buck naked.
I've heard both.
Oh, I've heard both. I think when I've said it, I've said butt naked.
I think I've said buck naked.
I've said both because I never knew which one it was. But now today I just learned it is buck naked.
Mm-hmm.
Buck naked. Okay.
What do you say? Doggy dog world or dog eat dog world?
Dog,
Dog
eat.
eat dog. Doggy dog. It's doggy dog world.
Yes, the original phrase is dog eat dog world, but a lot of people just say it so quickly, especially when you live somewhere up north like us. It's like, oh yeah, dog eat dog world. Yeah. Okay. Is it a bald-faced lie or a bold-faced lie?
Bold-faced lie.
I think it's a bald-faced lie.
It is bald-faced lie. I am shocked. I would have thought it was bold-faced. What is
I thought it was
bald-faced?
What does bald-face mean?
I have
They're
no
talking
idea.
specifically about Stephen.
That's what I
kind of
thought.
what I was thinking.
That
Like,
feels
hi, way
like
to point
right.
the finger at me.
That is right. That's what they were saying, actually.
Oh, well, this one's easy. Chomp at the bit or champ at the bit?
Chomp. No
But I
one
thought-
says champ at the bit.
That's kind of what I was thinking too. But a lot of people say chomping at the bit.
Oh,
Chomp
they don't-
in. I
yeah.
think I say
Yeah.
that. Chomping at the bit.
Oh my gosh, we're wrong. It's champ at the bit.
What?
For shizzle, the correct phrase is champ at the bit.
Well, that doesn't even make
No,
any
it doesn't.
sense.
It doesn't make sense. Where does that even come from? It doesn't tell
chomp
me the
at
answer
the
on the
bit
Google.
would be like a horse.
Yeah.
Because when they have like that thing they put in your mouth, and it's called a bit. So it would make sense that you were chomping at the bit to get going.
Or the horse is the champ.
And they're winning by like the bit because it crossed
Yeah.
over maybe.
Champ at the bit. Oh, we'll have to look that one up. Okay. Oh, I hate this word. Jerry rigged or jury rigged?
Jerry?
It's jury rigged.
It is jury rigged.
I've said it the other way, but I know that it's wrong.
Yeah. I only know
Okay.
this because I actually looked it up prior to us meeting today because
Oh.
guess who's serving on jury duty for 2 weeks starting next week?
No, I hope you get a really
Me.
interesting case.
I hope so too. I can't say anything about it because I don't want them to pick or not pick me based on things I say.
Yes.
It's so hard. Oh, okay. Like, I want to tell you all about it. Okay.
I would want to make that Law and Order sound every time that someone else was introduced. They'd be like, next up, we will have the first juror. And I'd be like, dunk, dunk.
I know.
Dun,
know.
dun,
I'll
dun,
find the sound and we'll start
dun.
putting it in the show.
Oh, that would be fun. Okay, is it duct tape or duct tape?
Duct
Duct
tape.
tape.
Correct. Is it bated breath or bated breath? It's the only thing different is the spelling. We're not even going to go there. Is it chalk it up or chalk it up?
Chalk it up, like writing with chalk.
Yeah.
Chalk it up.
Chalk or chalk?
Chalk.
Chalk.
Chalk it. Chalk it. Chalk.
Just like people say,
it up.
Cock instead of caulk. Which I refuse
What
to
do they say, Bert?
Yeah.
That's how I know.
Mom, if you're watching, I know you say that you cock the bathtub. It's a Minnesota and a Wisconsin thing. They cock the bathtub. They
Yeah,
use
go get your cock
But
gun.
I refuse.
get the-
I always say caulk.
Yeah, they get the cock gun up here in the north. It's kind of special. But anyway, it's chalk it up.
Yeah. Chalk.
This one's easy. What do you say, iced tea or iced tea?
Iced tea.
I say iced tea.
Me too. We're all right. Oh, this one's stupid. Take for granted or take for granted?
Take for
Take
granted.
for granted.
And we all know that, but if you talk to any northerner, they're like, oh yeah, they're taking it for granted. Well, what are they saying, granted or granite?
True. It does sound like that.
It is taken for granted. Oh, cold slaw or coleslaw?
Coleslaw.
I think that's correct, yes. What do you say, biding my time or biting my time?
Biting.
Biting.
You are correct. Oh, this is one of my pet peeves.
I probably
Could
got
have
it wrong.
or could have. Just think of how you would hyphenate that word.
Could have been so beautiful.
It technically could have.
It is, yes.
I
That's
think
one of
I
my
say
pet peeves.
could have.
Could have. That works.
Could've.
That yep, you just turned that we're at the end.
Do you guys want to know another word that I just recently learned that I had been saying wrong for a lot of years?
Of course.
When you drive by a really broken down, abandoned...
Did you say strive
She
by?
did.
Drive. I strive. I meant to say drive, but my
Okay.
S
So
got in there.
strive is a hard one for you too.
Yeah, strive apparently is not one that I do well.
Okay. So when you
When you
drive,
Driving by a broken down, abandoned house, I thought the word was dilapidated, and apparently the word is dilapidated with a D in the middle, not tated.
see, I never knew if it was dilapidated or dilapidated.
Oh, defibrillated. That is when your heart stops when you see it. But actually, it is dilapidated, like a dated house that is dilap.
That actually makes sense. The more you know.
Mhm.
Dun dun dun.
Dun, dun, dun.
I mean, why do kids need to go to school? They could just come and watch our show.
And it's
That is the truth.
and it's defrost, not defrog.
Oh yeah. Or dethaw.
Yeah.
That's another annoying pet peeve. Dethaw.
When people say thaw, because it's just thaw.
Right. And my last one that I'm going to bring up, because it is truly the statement that will drive me bonkers if you say it. I'm gonna run to the store.
Oh.
I'm gonna is not a word. I am going to.
Yeah, I do. I'm
gonna.
I'm okay with I'm gonna. But
I'm gonna.
we Minnesotans say I'm gonna.
I don't know that I say
think
that,
I
but
do
I
either.
hope I don't.
I bet you I have.
You're
though.
going to catch yourself next time. I guarantee
Well, now
it.
I am going to hear myself
I have
saying
a feeling
it.
for the next few weeks we're all going to be enunciating very carefully.
Very carefully, I will be telling you what I am saying right now so clearly.
When you first go into talk radio,
Yes.
they tell you to talk very slowly and very articulately, and then you can speed up over time. But to begin, you enunciate every word and every consonant. See, I can't even do it when I'm trying. On that happy note, I'm glad we're all here.
Me too.
Oh,
Some
well,
days
my
I
friends,
debate it, but no, I'm just kidding.
It's why we've been struggling to get content out on time. We're like, do we really like one another enough to show up every week?
Yes, we do. Come on. And if it's just the two of you thinking that about me,
Don't tell her.
Not true. And anyway,
I'm going to be right back. So
I can't wait to record in person again.
I know.
Like, I'm just missing the energy. I'm missing the lights. I'm missing just everything about it. Our pre-show prep, our food, our jabbing at each other.
I know.
It's been too long.
I know. Gentle nudges when we've gone on too far.
We'll have to start using like our fingers like this to be like,
Yeah.
too far. Too far.
Whoa. Back it up.
Anyway, my friends, it is time for us to wrap up. Bert, good luck producing this one again because we have been all over the board. I know you're not going to be able to keep all of the content, nor is it even going to make sense in certain places. But remember, at the end of the day, we love you.
We love us.
And we love Bree.
We do.
We do. Happy night, everybody.
See you guys later.
Again.
Jesus, fuck, I can't do
Hello, breastesses.
Oh my God, everything was perfect. I'm holding things together with a stretchy band that you work out with. I've got things tied up. Oh God, no. Come on.
Okay. Mine's going to tip over at some point, too.
I did not, which is bananas, because I got sucked into a Pitbulls and Parolees marathon.
We have to pause. My dog is playing in her toy bin.
No, I couldn't tell. I didn't hear a thing. Sounds like you had a hailstorm there and you live in a tin house.
What is happening?
Bert, how much medication are you taking?
I don't think I'm taking enough now.
All right, so speaking
Okay.
of the ACM.
Capes, you mean capes?
Oh my God, what the hell? This is like our very first night of recording.
This is terrible. Okay.
It is terrible. Good thing we're not live. Okay. All right, I'm ready.
Okay.
What is Bert doing now?
Yelling at my mother.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay.
Thank you for watching. Be sure to visit our website at stephennicoleshow.com and on our social media channels at Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. You can also find us on Apple Podcasts and other podcasting networks. And if you found this episode absolutely fabulous, be sure to share the fun.